So, the time has come to sell your home and embark on a new adventure. Making the transition as smooth as possible is what we're here to do, and to keep that positive memory in your mind. From start to completion, the whole process should take, on average, between 8 and 10 weeks. However, every transaction is different, and it just depends on how quickly you're able to cooperate with us and how the rest of the chain reacts, both up and down, your seller, your buyer, and theirs as well. We need to remember that we are reliant on the rest of the chain progressing at the same pace as we progress. Now, if it's a leasehold or shared ownership property, the process might take that slightly bit longer just due to the extra work that needs to be completed. But don't worry, here at Wosskow Brown, we are experienced with all types of property and we'll deal with your sale as effectively as possible. Once you put your house on the market, it is a good idea to instruct your solicitor as soon as possible. That's us, by the way, just to get the ball rolling. You'll also need to let your estate agents know that we're acting on your behalf. So when the sale is agreed, they can send over what's called a Memorandum of Sale. Now, the Memorandum of Sale has all the basic information about the transaction. This includes the buyer's details as well as their solicitor's details also. When you formally instruct us, we'll send out to you our initial client care documents. This is to request information about yourself and about the property that you're selling. Now, as part of our obligations, we do need to go through a process called Know Your Client. This involves us checking that you are who you say you are. Now, to do this, we'll invite you to pop into one of our offices so we can verify your ID documents and your proof of address. If you aren't able to visit one of our offices for any reason, then not to worry. You can get your ID and proof of address certified by an independent solicitor who can send the copies over to us, although they will likely make a small charge for this. While you're getting on with filling out the forms, we will have made contact with the buyer's solicitors. This is just to let them know that we're acting on your behalf for the sale of the property. Once we receive all of your completed forms, ID and proof of address, we'll also need a payment on account just to cover the initial disbursements and costs. Once we have your forms, ID and the initial payment from yourself, we'll check the property's title and prepare the draft contract pack ready for the buyer's solicitors to start their side of the process. If you have an outstanding mortgage on the property that you're selling, we will need to contact the mortgage lender just to find out how much needs to be repaid. We will also contact any of the relevant parties for further information too. This could be the freeholder, for example, if your property is leasehold. If there's any further information or documentation that we think may be necessary or useful for the buyer's solicitor, we'll ask you to send that to us now, just so we can share this and press on with the sale. After the draft contract has been sent over to the buyer's solicitor, the ball's in their court. We just have to sit tight and wait for them to conduct their relevant searches and send over the inquiries about the property. So if things do seem a little bit quiet at this stage, don't panic, we aren't ignoring you, and we will keep you updated with any changes. Once inquiries are sent to us from the buyer's solicitor, we will review them and we'll deal with any that we can with the information that's currently available to us. But if there are any inquiries that we do need additional information, we will be in touch with yourself to help us answer any questions. Just be aware that inquiries may be sent over in multiple batches. This is due to the buyer's solicitors receiving additional information during the transaction. This is completely normal. As soon as the buyer's solicitors have satisfied all of their inquiries, we will expect to receive the contract and the transfer form back from them. Now, the buyer's solicitor may have made amendments to these documents, which we sent at the outset of the transaction. We will assess these changes, and if needs be, we'll discuss them with yourselves before deciding if they should be approved or rejected. Once the contract and the transfer are agreed upon and all the relevant parties are happy, we will send them and any other relevant documents for you to sign. Now, this can be done either in person at one of our offices, or we can post them out to you. Now, there are specific guidelines that you do need to be aware of if you're signing at home, such as who can witness you signing the forms, but don't worry, we will provide further guidance nearer the time. After you sign the forms, we can negotiate a target completion date with all parties. When the completion date arrives, we'll ensure that any mortgages and any estate agent fees are paid once we receive the money from the buyer's solicitor. We'll give you a call just to let you know that the sale has been completed, and any monies left over will be transferred straight into your bank account. At this point, you should make final checks on the property and take a final meter reading of any utilities before handing over the keys or dropping them off at the estate agents. Once you've handed over the keys, our work doesn't stop there. There are just a few things that we need to do in order to finalise the transaction. So we'll send the transfer and any other deeds onto the buyer's solicitors, and once we receive confirmation from your lender that the mortgage has been cleared, we will forward that on too. Now, if you're purchasing a property at the same time as selling, then don't worry, we will ensure that the transaction is complete on the same day. unless, of course, there is a reason you wouldn't want us to do this.